I've been doing this for over 7 years now, and when I started it, I wanted the flexibility of being able to be at home with my young children. So I'd had my first child and he was 18 months, and I just wanted a bit of a hobby, a bit of extra income for the family. So I really liked the idea of being able to stay home all week, and when my husband was home on weekends, I could shoot out and work for the weekend and bring in some extra money. So my baby's now started school, my youngest one, and I'm really looking forward to doing things together as a family on weekends, being able to watch my kids play footy and go to netball and do dancing and all that sort of stuff. So I'm just at a different stage in my life now. I've seen it grow from something that was just it was a business concept that I thought I'd try for a bit of fun. Just at the local farmers market, I turned up at the local farmers market, and within a month or two I had a regular gig at the local netball, and I'd turn up each morning and I'd sell $900 worth of coffee on a Saturday morning, and I thought, oh my God, this is actually something that could significantly contribute to our family's budget. And it only meant that I was away from home from 8 till 1 every Saturday to earn that amount of money. So I got busier and busier. I ended up having 2 setups. I had a cart as well as my coffee van. I developed the style of how I ran the business. I had a coffee cart, then I had a coffee trailer, then I had a big coffee van, then I got a smaller coffee van. I had 6 staff working for me at one stage. And my accountant actually said to me, "You're onto a winner here. You found a different way of doing things that is particularly good for women who are in your position. You've got an MBA. You've got a smart business brain. Why don't you turn this into a franchise that other women, particularly, would be interested in buying into, because it is a model that allows flexibility." So I'm really proud that I developed the franchise model. I've got everything ready to go. It just needs the right person with the right amount of time and the right entrepreneurial spirit to drive it and to take it to the next step. Right now, the business is operating ready for someone to step in and take over from me. Predominantly, what I've always done is weekend work because of my personal family situation and with the young kids. During footy season, I'm flat chat. I've got commitment. I've worked with this footy club for the last 3 years, and they absolutely love me, love the reliability, love the coffee. They love the fact that they get 10% of my takings too. So that works really well, and it's a footy club in Doreen, which is, if you know anything about Melbourne, Doreen is one of Melbourne's fastest growing suburbs, and they've got like 14 junior teams. Within the next year or two, they're about to get into seniors, and senior footy matches is where the real money's made. Although saying that, on a Sunday at the footy at Doreen, when there's 5 or 6 junior footy matches, I can take $1,400 cash. So that's pretty good. So I also see them on Saturdays at Auskick. Now, just recently, the local Masters store approached me, so that's in Sunbury, and have asked if I can be their coffee provider. So I've just taken on this as a bit of a trial, and it looks like it's really going to go well. There's an industrial estate across the road from Masters, which is just about to be built, a housing estate over the other side of the main road, which is just about to be built, tradies everywhere, and there's going to be a huge Woolworths built as well. So there's going to be a lot of construction there over the next 2 years, and there are no food outlets around. So the local bakery in Riddles Creek have given me a pie warmer, so I've got hot pies and hot sausage rolls. Masters are doing everything. They're even building me a shelter so that I can park the van out the front and be sheltered from the weather. Be there Monday to Friday, 9 till 3, and they've also said, could I come on Saturdays after I go to the Auskick? So they're doing what they can to fit in with me. So the van can be operational 7 days a week, which is really good. One of the things that I learned very quickly when I got into the business was that it's really easy to make a foul cup of coffee. It's not too hard to make a good cup of coffee, but you've really got to be consistent and know what you're doing. So I always make sure that I have great coffee, great customer service, and that I give back to the community. So that's why I always do community events, whether that's the local sports events, whether it's the Cancer Council Victoria. I'm their preferred coffee vendor, so I always go to the Relays for Life and give back, at least 10% of what I take. But I always make sure my coffee's good quality. I use fair trade and organic coffee beans, and it's from a roaster in Riddles Creek, my hometown, and this guy's amazing, but he travels all over Melbourne and he'd be happy to deliver them to wherever people are. But it's wonderful to be able to text message someone and say, I need another 8 kilos, and he replies back and says, I'll roast them tonight and deliver them to you tomorrow. How fresh is that? The coffee on the supermarket shelves is a year old. So the stuff that I've got is fresh, and you can tell. I have people come up to me all the time and say, that's the best coffee I've ever had. Now, you don't expect that from a coffee van. You usually just expect a bit of caffeine and whatever, but this is good stuff. So that's really heartwarming. When I set up the franchise, I saw it as, I suppose if you want to look at a model, you can think of the Jim's mowing model, where there's a 1300 number. So I've done that. That's already established. So I've got a 1300 number, and that is diverted to my mobile. So I am getting phone calls all the time from people saying, I need a coffee van, can you help me out? My plan was that I would have franchisees in different territories, locally and interstate. But the calls would come through to me on the 1300 number. I also get a lot of queries through my website where people know that coffee is available in your local community. So the queries come through to me, and if I can do them, I take them. If not, I try and find alternatives for the people inquiring. I suppose my main goal was, since I've developed this system which seems to work so well, it has a high profit margin, all it requires is for people to be consistent and follow the instructions that I've outlined in an operations manual, that people could more or less replicate what I'm doing. So they would have access to the 1300 number, the marketing materials, the logo, the website. They could just take that up and run with it. And my theory was, if I could get 10 franchisees up over the next couple of years, that would be great. That would be great, and that would be then a business that I could keep growing or then sell on as a going concern. When I developed the franchise, I was full of energy, full of gusto. I used the knowledge from my MBA plus the expert knowledge that I got from the franchise consultant. I liaised with the lawyers, I got accountants in, I did all the work. It was great. And then the leads started coming in. And then I realised I needed at least full 8-hour workday, 5 days a week, plus the rest, to really do this job properly, to recruit franchisees, to train them, to make sure people knew about the model and what it was going to do and what set me apart from the different coffee vans that were out there. Then I took a step back and I thought, now I started this business because I wanted to be with my family more, and here am I stressing out, doing really long hours, and I just thought, I've done all the groundwork, I've quenched my thirst to do something really clever, I've used my business brain, I've set up everything, but I think it's time to pass it over to an entrepreneur who can just take the ball and run with it. For someone who wants to come and start working straight away, I've got, as I said before, about 7 days a week of work, both with the regular community events at the local footy, the Cancer Council, Relays for Life, different private events. People get me to come and serve coffee when they're having coffee and cake at their backyard wedding or engagement party or 60th or whatever. And I also have a couple of corporate clients who like me to come in for special morning teas, and they pay me to give out free coffees to the staff by way of a thank you. And as I said, I've also got the Masters gig, which is the Monday to Friday 9 to 3. Now what I've done is I've used my background with my MBA and my research that I've done into developing franchise, and I've developed really detailed operations manuals. So that shows how to make a coffee, what the difference is between a latte and a flat white, how to receive a booking, how to encourage more bookings, how to present the counter so that people take your card and book you for future events. Just little things like that I've learnt over the years, what works, what doesn't work, what's going to be the most efficient way for you to get the job done and get as much profit as you can.
If you would like to discuss this opportunity further, please call Trevor Willoughby on 0438 553 542.